Hi, everybody. We're going to get everybody in the chat room to refresh. Hi, everybody. This is me, Mama D. And hey, Jackie. My guest this evening is Scott H. Collins. We're going to find out what the H stands for, just because it sits there, so I need to know. I have my idea, and I think it's Harry. That or Houdini. If he disappears, I'm going to be calling him Houdini. Okay, a little bit about Scott. He's awesome. There we go. That's a little bit. You guys in the chat room, do you want to give me a thumbs up or something just to let me know that you can hear? Yay, sound today. Yes, Jackie, we got sound today. Okay, Scott, first off, thank you very much for agreeing to postpone last week's Skype debacle and working with me to come back on this week's show. Just fill everybody in a little bit about yourself.
Hi. I started life as a naturopath, and didn't start life as a naturopath. I started a long working career as a naturopath, and then discovered I had some talents which went beyond the science degree that I had, and found that I could actually feel people and started to actually tune into their bodies and actually tell where they had pain, where they had things going on. And my party trick, I used to go to parties and kind of kept it hidden from my professional work, and then sort of just became part of me, and I used it regularly to really help tune into clients. And then I went overseas and lived in Malta for a while. I studied with a teacher, a mentor there I studied with her for a couple of years. I only lived in Malta for about 6 months, and it was a really great experience because I learned to tune into the conscious journey of everybody. And so I now had this combination of naturopathy, this intuitive, empathic nature, and also an understanding of consciousness that went back to the beginning of what I call the origin of creation. So people's timelines in their entirety, not just one or two lifetimes, but hundreds of thousands of incarnations of people's journey. And why that was important, because I found that I could actually see where people had created the belief system or the part of the journey that was impeding their health. So all of a sudden I had all this package of things that I was doing, but I kept it under wraps. And, this woo-woo, this voodoo, this whatever judgment that I would get from colleagues, from clients, and I really didn't want it to be seen. I kind of waited. When I had patients in my clinic, I would really just wait for an opportunity to have a spiritual conversation to really get a great healing experience. And then all of a sudden, last year, I was put to a point where I had to make a decision. I was at a speakers conference for learning how to become a public speaker, and at that moment, I had a choice to be a naturopath or I could be the empath medical medium naturopath. And that's where I decided to go with this. And I basically broke off into our group, and people go, "What do you do?" And I said, "Look, I don't know how to tell you what I do, but I'm going to show you." And I said, "Can I have a volunteer?" And in that instant, someone put their hand up, and I immediately tapped into that person's energy and what was going on in their body. And I picked about five things that I could really identify. And the next thing, this is the most incredible thing, all the hands around the room shot up going, "Me next." It was quite an incredible experience. And then at the beginning of this year, I decided that I'm coming out and doing this. And I have been doing it all year with clients and making it known this is what I do. I'm just not going to sit with a normal naturopathic health visit. This is completely intuitive. It's completely spiritual. It's going to combine nutrition. It's going to combine every tool and resource at my disposal to working with a client. And it completely changed my experience of wanting to be in my profession. I was considering leaving it because I was just so bored with sitting there talking, at a superficial level that it kept me interested in my field again, and it got me back into wanting to really impact people's health in a way which I could do it.
And that's just a little bit. Okay. Naturopath. Now that is somebody who helps people with their diets and what to eat and what's good to eat?
I'm going to expand on that. It's probably a little bit, diet definitely plays a part of what we do. I'm trained in nutritional biochemistry, nutritional medicine, herbal medicine, in addition to diet. So basically I solve problems using different tools, so we'll call them nutrients, supplements, foods, to get results. Diet's only just a part of the process. Sometimes I may have to get people like B vitamins or specific nutrients like minerals or zinc, because most people are simply nutrient deficient. Most people are mineral deficient. But it's a whole bunch of tools that we use in addition to diet. When it comes to diet, I'm really kind of not a believer in diets. I find diets are hideously boring, and what I really like to get people to do is really simple. Eat clean. Buy the best fresh produce you can get your hands on, and really start to focus on reducing processed foods, reducing red meat intake, to the point where you start to become intuitive with your food. It's just not about, I release all judgment around food, around diets, and actually get you to become in tune with what you're eating and what feels right and what your body needs. And that's a more empowered way of it, instead of a denial-based system or an old diet-based mentality. Because, when it comes to food, people, just like allergies, we know we have food allergies, but another side of food which people don't know, which I put into my practice, is what I call neuro-associative allergies or created allergies. And one example that I give to people about this is, have you ever been so drunk that you can never go near tequila again? That's like some people have experience with alcohol that may be years and years and years, and they still have the physical and psychological, emotive feelings of what it was to be sick on that particular alcohol, even food poisoning. And what I found in my experience is that a lot of foods create an unconscious relationship that actually causes a connection to a psychological trauma that's playing out in the body. So when it comes to diets, I don't really focus on diet. I actually focus on releasing from the food being judged and persecuted, and actually letting it be who it is. Everything has a living entity. Everything's allowed to be loved and liked without judgment. So that's kind of how I look at it. Rather than putting diets into a box, what does your body need? What's right for you? And this comes back to where my lot of the work that I do is, people are disconnected from their heart space. And they're disconnected from the heart space, which keeps them in their head, and they're really choosing foods from a neurological point of view to suffice the nervous system, carbohydrates, sugar, alcohol, whatever it may be.
Yeah. Okay. I used to eat, you can let me know if this is sort of it. I used to eat eggs as a child. I could eat eggs, scrambled, omelet, poached, anyway, and I loved eggs. And then I think it was my late teens, eggs started making my stomach physically ill. The pain would be like excruciating. I cannot eat an egg like that. Certain things that are made with eggs I can't eat. But, for example, my husband's grandmother gave me her cake recipe. It has 6 eggs in it. I have no problem with eating that cake. Noodles that are made, like fresh egg noodles. I went to a Chinese restaurant, and they made fresh egg noodles. I couldn't eat them because of the egg in them. But yet I can eat, other things that have egg in them. So would that be like my body going?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm feeling intuitively.
Okay.
That you're so sensitive that you struggle with food that has trauma around it. And grandma's love recipe cake. It's a cake that's handed down from love. It's made with care at a time. Food that's battery hens or low cost eggs that the animals treated poorly. Chinese restaurant where there's more speed involved in love and time and care with the food. So that's one aspect of looking at it, is your relationship to the energetics of the food. I have a client that I work with, and she she and I worked together for a number of years, and one of the things that we do with her, because she's extremely sensitive to a lot of food, is we do a prayer over food before we eat it. We actually release all energies, all agreements, all bonds, all karmic connections, and we align the food specifically in harmonious energetics for her body. So that's how we, and every time we've done that, that works really well for her. The other thing that could be happening is that, eggs also have an impact on the liver, and sometimes depending how the egg's cooked or how it's presented, it may just be putting stress on your liver. Okay. You're feeling that nausea, that stomach griping is because you're just not breaking it down.
Okay. Well, like I said, I
separate egg whites try the yolk from the whites and then reverse it.
I did that as I grew into it. My sister could eat the whites and I could eat the yolk. I'd like to dip my toast into. I'm actually physically doing the thing, like y'all can see me now. I like to dip my toast into the yolk and poached eggs. So I tried that, but now I just take my time and I don't.
I'm just going to do a sound check because in the chat room someone's saying they can't hear me. How's the sound, Carrie? Can you just give me a thumbs up if it's better for you now?
There's a couple of minutes delay, a couple of seconds, not minutes, thankfully. You're soft. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I'm a softie.
It's a little Pillsbury Doughboy. I'm kidding.
I'm going to have a check my settings.
Sounds like you're on the other side of the room, she says.
Could be.
He's on the other side of the world. That counts, too.
Yeah, I've got the microphone right up against me, so let me know if that's any better.
Okay. Okay. And that's true.
We'll carry on. Carrie?
You go, oh. Yes, like talking through a tunnel. I said that before. Okay. All right. So a little further back, Jackie said, yeah, she drank beer when she was 14 until she got sick, and now just the smell of it makes her nauseous.
I mentioned tequila because that was my mistake. When we finished high school, we were illegally drinking, and we drank way too much tequila to the point where I could never touch the stuff.
There you go.
My youth was a fun time.
How's it now? Let's see. Okay, stay on track, darling. Oh, look, Eric's in the chat room. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Eric is a friend of mine and of the show. He's also medium. He just had surgery. He had, give me a second, I'll think of the word, his thyroid removed.
Oh, wow.
So he had to, and he's over in the UK, so that's like 4 hours over there. So he's now 11:42. First day out of the hospital, and he comes to you. Here you go. Be quiet.
Give you my best, mate. Hope you get well soon.
She will. He kind of doesn't take easily to not. Oop, he disappeared. To not being well. A while back, he had cancer in his lungs and had a chunk of that removed, and he made a recovery, which amazed his doctors, and so.
Because he's not meant to go anywhere yet.
No, he doesn't. No, he can't keep Eric down. He's a good man.
He's still got. Hey, Eric, you've still got a lot of your purpose to complete yet. Much more gifts to share with the world.
Oh yeah, him and Teddy. Mhm. Okay, you in your bio said that when you were 22 or 23, you were at a party, and you could hear was it you could hear two people talk, or you could feel two people talking about, two good friends talking about you?
I feel two good friends talking about me, yeah.
So, go ahead. And when you walked up to them, what did they say, aside from being speechless? Did they admit to talking about you?
I walked up to them. I was furious because it was venomous what they were saying. I didn't know what they were saying, couldn't hear, but I could feel it energetically. And I walked up and I said, "Why are you two talking about me?" And they both looked at each other in absolute amazement and said, "How did you know we're talking about you?" And that was the first indication that I really had that I could tune into people's energies and tune in and had a really super sensitive feeling state.
Okay.
Needless to say, they're no longer friends today, not because of my choice, because of both vibrationally and energetically, they're not playing in the same sandpit as me.
I like that one. Yeah. Has there been anybody else in your family and blood and or heart families, I call them friend circle, that have decided to leave your friendship because of coming out of your closet? I love that word.
I think it's me that's left. I think I just vibrationally naturally move in my own circle and am naturally drawn to people I want to be around. And it's more of I just choose to go where I am. Like I have some siblings that have strong Christian ties. There's nothing wrong with that. It's their choice. They're challenged by it, and I'm cool with their choice. I have an aunt. I remember my mother is from New Zealand, and I was at a wedding for my cousin, and my mother was sitting next to me, and she knows my mum's pretty cool. Mum's quite connected as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're sitting next to Mum's sister, and Mum's sister they all grew up Catholics, but Mum kind of left the fold.
Yeah.
We're sitting next to my aunt, and Mum's elbowing her. What's going on? And she's going, "Let Scott do the thing. Let Scott do the thing." And my aunt was really challenged by letting me do an energy healing on her knee, because she had a really bad knee.
Okay.
She eventually let me do it, and her knee came good. But I could really see how confronted she was by how it was to see what I could do in doing it. And my family, most of my family is in New Zealand. However, I have very little to do with them today, not because of choice. It's just that by distance, and we're vibrationally leading different journeys.
Yeah, I think we all eventually do that at some point. It's not that there's no love. It's just that things have to change, and it's just a matter of where we're going in our paths.
Once you see your truth, you cannot deny it. It's like waking up. Once you have that awakening, there is no turning back. It is all being. It is all consuming. It is just who you are. It's a natural state of being. Anything else is just living in a falsehood, living in a distortion of the truth of who you are. And the key to this is actually finding your truth within yourself. We all have this is part of the origin work, the origin of our beings, remembering who we are at the point of origin of our first incarnation, but the amazing, incredible beings that we are. Not the distortion that's lived life after life, that's had incident and issue and belief system and trauma and drama and this constant learning. Is that there's a point of us which, when we absolutely come into alignment with who we are, we actually start to live in that truth of we are something more than the distortions of the reality which are around us.
True. Definitely going to have to go back and listen to this one and read in the archives. Has there in your previous practice, where you were just naturopath, and this one where you're medical medium / naturopath, the whole kit and caboodle all in one thing. Has there been any of your clients who did not want to continue on with you because of the extra step, the new step?
There has been, yeah. And there's been clients who have actually said, I'm not paying for this. This is not what I want. And, we've had to negotiate, changing the fees and the time and whatever. There's been challenges, yes.
Mhm.
And the difference is now that when I outwardly just go, this is who I am, this is what you get with me, and I don't run into that problem anymore because I'm manifesting in line with who I am. I'm not trying to manifest clients and then hope they're going to be in line with me. It's like, well, nope, you're not my kind of client, nor let go. And I'm prepared to let it go and prepared to not take on anybody who's not ready for me because it's an injustice to me and it's an injustice to them and it's actually an energetic exchange that's not right. It's not an agreement I'm not going to enter into with someone.
True. And have you, from the clients that have come with you, have there been others that are so blown over to the change that you've created for them?
There's actually been a dramatic shift in my business. And there's a few that have come with, but a lot have dropped off.
Okay.
And I'm absolutely attracting a brand new kind of client, which is really exciting. And the kind of people I'm working with now, they're listening to your show. They're open, they're vibrational beings, they're really on their journey. And like all of us, we all need coaches and mirrors and other people in our life to support our journey. Like I go and see people, I have a coach, I have people I work with, because that reflection from another person's perspective who's in tune and have their own mirror to show me, that's just as powerful as what I do for someone. So, it really gets a lot easier when you have people who are already aligned with you, who are already open, who are already living their own journey. That makes it really cool.
Yeah. Carrie in the chat room says she often wonders how intuitive her homeopath/naturopath is because he just seems to know stuff. Maybe you should ask him.
I was just about to say that, Carrie. He probably is. You probably open a whole new dynamic by having a conversation. It would be really cool.
Just say, I listened to the show on the weekend. I know. Actually, I think, Carrie, it's Monday morning for you, right? If I'm correct. Carrie, I believe, is in South Africa. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Could be wrong. I know somebody.
I think my feeling, Carrie, is that he is. I really believe that he is, and I think you'll be surprised how much of a conversation you can really have about your consciousness with him.
Yeah, he could be waiting just for somebody to open that door.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see it, Carrie, which means it's already reflecting to you, so that's perfect confirmation.
There you go. He loves anything healing. So yeah, I think like you said, it's the moment that she thought it, the moment it's already confirmation of it because you thought about it. So yes, it's very true. Just a quick one. If anybody wants a connection with Scott, just pop it into the chat room. You do not have to speak to him. He will connect with you, your vibration through the show, and just say, me please, so I know. Christy, Mama D, can you turn your volume down on your headset? So Scott will, I don't know if it works this way, because the volume doesn't work on my mouth. Maybe I'll just move my mouth away from is that better, Christy? Because I can't turn the volume down on my headset. Okay. Cool, Donna. Okay, much better. Just had to move the microphone away from my face.
Hey.
There you go. Well, Scott has to get closer. That just goes to show I have a big mouth. Yay! Here we go.
Well, do my best, guys. Hang in there. I've got the microphone right up against not right up against, but closer. Yeah.
I think the fact was that I was too loud.
Oh, okay.
I'm a loudmouth Canadian. You don't have to be polite with me, Carrie. I got a big mouth. Go ahead, say it. Go ahead.
Now, I'm not going to say it.
Sorry?
Isn't it usually associated with other people, loudmouth, not Canadians?
Well, I can be a loudmouth Canadian. I'm a Quebecer. There you go.
I've tempered with age. I'm not as loud, and when I was younger, I used to really want to be the center of attention and the life of the parties. Now, as I've aged, it's tempered, and it's not as a priority anymore. So I get to just to be more relaxed.
Tempered with age. Scott, how old are you?
Turning 48.
Oh my goodness, you are like ancient. I'm going to be 57, so you're still a child.
I'm actually just beginning. It's like, I probably 2 years ago when I thought I was old, and now I just go, wow, it's just really the best
I know.
emotional and physical place of my life right now.
Yeah, it's funny how when I saw a picture of a young woman that I was supposed to be on the show, and she'll be on next year, and she did a side-by-side picture of her in 2012 till now, and she looks younger now than she did back then, and it's because she opened herself up to accepting who she was. So I think that's one of the things that we do. Accepting who we are, where we are on our path, makes us younger. Some of us still need to shave, Eric. And of course, yes, Brian's not here, so we can't pick on him. Yeah, I think once you open up to realize who you are, where you're going, and it's, makes life so much simpler and easier. You realize that, age doesn't make a difference. Because like you said, when we were kids, we're like, oh my God, she's how old? That's ancient, and now it's like, 57, or in Donna's case, 59, in your case, little baby.
And I like aging. This is. I just want to share something about aging since we're here. This is a thing that I've been working on for a long time. Is that we have this what we call group consciousness. That we all have a set of beliefs we all share. And what goes up must come down. 1 + 1 = 2. This, we have this shared physics, shared maths in our consciousness. Mm-hmm. It's one of the things that I look at on changing my journey. Is finding my own dynamic consciousness within that, my own aspect of self. And that's releasing from what is old, releasing from the aging paradigm. That if you look at photos from the 50s, people looked old when they were 30. Yeah. So we're looking now. What we're seeing is we're seeing a shift in people who are 50 are looking 30. We're seeing shifts in people getting fitter as they're getting older and healthier as they're getting older because they're being more conscious in their journey. They're taking care of their emotional well-being. I think that when we can release from the energy that we give to things, the trauma that we give to things, it's like the body ages because of inflammation. The inflammation is driven by our consciousness. That's what are we holding on to and how much harmony and peace we are within ourselves, like you're saying. The more releasing we do from the trauma of our past and completing ourselves, it's kind of like this, that we're like this perfect plate, this perfect white china plate that comes into this world. And then all of a sudden it gets smashed onto the ground into a million pieces. And all of those pieces represents the conscious journey that you're going through. Each one has its own traumas, each one has its own lessons. And then when we come back into completeness, back into that perfect state of being, which is really just getting into our heart state and forgiving ourselves, loving who we are, and having a really great relationship with ourselves, the aging process, in my opinion, can be abated by that, that less inflammation, less stress, more harmony, more flow. And, we know in physics, the more you have force, the more, the harder a boat goes in the water, the more the physics of the water make the boat heavier and harder to push through the water, so it needs more energy to push it. The faster an aircraft travels in the air, the more that the wind heats up and creates more temperature on the fuselage. So when we're in flow, we're not working against the physics of the world. We're actually in more harmony, which uses less resources, less inflammation, less stress, and therefore, leads to better aging, better longevity. And I'd love to live to 250. That would be my aim would be to live 250.
I say that sometimes. I'll have customers who will come in where I work and, are you still here? And, because I've been with the same company for 15 years. I said, and then they'd be like, you haven't changed at all. I was like, no, because they keep me in the freezer in the back. I'm over like 5,000 years old. They just take me out and defrost me so I can serve the customers and put me back in. So I just keep my little pretty face. So yeah, I think that, I don't know about 250, but I'll go for 105. I think, I'll go for 105. I don't know why that number just popped into my head.
I just love what I'm doing. It's just like I'm just getting started, and I thought, well, I don't want to. What's this whole retirement age at 65, 70? Like in Australia, they passed a law recently now. Retirement age is now 70. The people used to be able to access their super and what I think they call them 401 or K, whatever in the US.
Mm-hmm.
And like 70 is a long time now to be able to access your 65, 70 to be able to access retirement now. So you really want to have a conscious job. You really want to be taking care of your body. You really want to be accessing your belief systems on your unconscious journey to really get rid of this stuff and come into heart space harmony. This is living in a toxic world, unfortunately, and this is causing aging. A lot of people that I work with are aluminium toxic, there's cadmium toxic, they've got glyphosate, and this is causing premature aging as well. So we're working on both the physical and the consciousness journeys to really put the body back into harmony. That's what I want to see happen, that it's taking time to really get everybody into their conscious journey. I mean, obviously everyone who's listening here is on the path, but we look outside of that world and we can see it around us.
Yeah, but I think people are also open to the idea of getting onto the path and looking. So it's some people when I first started out, I didn't tell people who I was and what I did. I kept it to myself and my immediate family, and I didn't want people to look at me different. And then I got to the point where I was like, I don't care, But I'm amazed that when I opened up, so many other people were like, oh yeah, like I never heard of Reiki in my little town. I never heard of Reiki, never heard of, except for one woman. I never knew one person in my town that was a medium. And since I opened up, they just sort of crawl out of the woodwork, and everybody is so much happier, so much, like coming in and they're in that moment where they're happy about things, and it's not just a bunch of grumpy old curmudgeons. So I think that.
I always like to look at the old comedian George Burns.
Yeah.
And, he smokes cigars. Not that I agree with smoking, but the point is that he defied the odds. He lived over 100 and he drank, he smoked. He was just happy.
Yeah. That makes one heck of a difference. You can be as fit as you want to be, put the right things in your body, but I think happiness is also part of it. If you don't find that goodness, that happy moment, at least one every 5 minutes, because I'm a rather quirky person, and you can be physically fit, but it's on the outside. But on the inside, if your soul and your heart is broken and crying and not sure where it is, then that doesn't help. You need to have, for me, it has to be a balance of both, the physical, the emotional, spiritual, whatever, everything has to work together.
Totally. It's not my, as a naturopath, it's not just all about what I do. It's about a chiropractor, it's about an energy healer, it's about someone who does water filters, it's someone who grows the food. It's a whole bunch of people coming together to create this harmony for all of us.
It's like Eric said in the chat room, says he's never so alive as when he's talking to the dead.
Cool.
Which is true. You become a different person. You open up a different window or a different door that even though that you're well, I'm going to use Eric as an example. Eric is a really nice guy, but the person that you talk to every day is the different person when he's on the rostrum and when he's talking with his guides and stuff and sharing messages. There's a different person. There's that extra light, It's the different switch is put up to high.
Yeah. And this is coming into complete alignment with self. If most people step out of their head about the mortgage, the bills, all the things that are in their fear state, and actually connect into the heart state, that manifesting what they want becomes so much easier and so much faster. I've seen it happen. That the head puts all these barriers up to being, that when you actually, like Eric, if he's alive and he's thinking he's dead, because most of us, when we're alive doing what we love most, it changes our world. We're not meant to live in the slavery-based system. We're not meant to work 40-hour weeks. We're not meant to do all the things which are just considered convention. This is not who we are.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back into the absolute source being of who our existence is meant to be will bring harmony, will bring a lot more peace. And it's absolutely believing life or living in a state of possibility. Do you believe it's possible to have what you want? Because sometimes the head's going to override it. This is the big thing. The head and the conscious belief systems are overriding what's going on. When you step into your head space, you're only listening to data. When you step into your heart space, you're listening to the infinite. This is the big difference, is that when the infinite's driving impossible to make it possible, anything's possible.
Very true.
I'm
sitting here shaking my head.
And that's it. It's just our heads are just, if I gave you a magical paintbrush and I gave you a canvas and I said paint what you wanted, first thing a lot of people say, I don't know what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And then people paint a holiday, they'll paint a house, they'll paint a car. When's the last time you painted your heart being happy? An ecstasy of your own heart space, essence, relationship with yourself. And this is the key. All this other material stuff will naturally form a line when the heart essence is really, truly ignited. One of the things that I do with people to really ignite that heart space is think of someone or something that you love more than anything, more than 1,000 suns. It absolutely drives you, and the love fills you. It might be a pet, it might be a grandchild, it might be a daughter or a son, it might be something like Eric talking to the dead. Mm-hmm. Now, once you've had that experience of that heart opening and the magic that you can actually feel it, this is the place in which now to create. That is your reference point for opening your heart. Now start creating. Your heart is then a barometer of everything that you want to create in life.
Yeah. Like Eric in the chat room writes, your head says you could do it if you want to, and your heart says you will do it, believe.
Yeah, it's powerful, Eric.
Good. Have to get that one live on the air. Because, unfortunately, the chat room is not recorded in this show, but so when people type something good in, I like to make sure it gets live on the air, as well as Miss Donna Ravenrooks, who is a stained glass art artist. She's doing a pattern with 100. So she says she'll be 100 years old when it's finished. It's a window of Isis, which I definitely want to see because her work is amazing. She made me some butterflies, which are cool. So, but yeah, I think that we need to, like you said, believe, listen to our hearts, go with our hearts. And the thing is, you said if I gave you a magic paintbrush, what would you paint? Paint something. And like you said, most people would be like a house. Yeah, Eric's a professional pain in the butt. I think your wife might agree with that, but yeah. The people, she hasn't killed him yet. That's my usual excuse. I think when people paint, like you said, they've got to paint from the heart. And even though I always say that I'm not an artist, but when I see art, I know what I like. And also when I know what makes me happy, what makes my heart sing. I may not be able to put it into, put it down on paper, but my head knows what it is, my heart knows what it is, and I just keep running towards it, and I'm going to be working with it, and eventually one day it'll just come out of my hands and be poof, right there.
And I like to think that this is how I sum up life, is that we're experiential beings. We're here to create experiences. It's not about, having a tough life, it's creating life that we want from experiences. And when we connect with the heart state, we actually start to create the experiences which fill that heart state. The experiences, whether we like it or not, we're creating shit experiences or we're creating great experiences. So whether we're conscious or unconscious, we're still creating. And the whole idea of getting this deliberate creation is so that we focus on the essence state to create more experiences that fill us rather than ones that take us on another journey. Take us on a journey which is a cathartic journey.
Yes, I know we were talking about age, but I still like to make sure that you get that going. Donna says we really are creators. We are.
Every single one of us in our own way.
Yep.
I'm sure. I could probably learn to do what Donna does. Would it fill my heart? Would it give me immense joy? I don't know. But I like to do other things.
Donna's creations are, as I call, they're like her babies because she puts her heart into it. She showed me a picture of my butterflies before they were 100% finished, and there was something in it that she saw that I didn't see, and I thought they were perfect. And she goes, no, wait, there's something that has to be fixed. And I didn't see it because they were her babies, they were her creations, they were what she gave birth to from her heart and her energies and her creativity, that it needed to be fixed. And so, yeah, what we create, what we work with, is a major part of us.
Yeah, it's cool. And everyone is creative. It's like an intelligence is not just what your grades are. Intelligence and creative expression is all unique in their own way. I mean, I couldn't write a musical or pen a score. I could do it averagely, but what I am good at creating is doing what I'm doing right now, which is the intuitive work. That's the complete expression of who I am. That's what flows for me. It's not hard. It's not a steep learning curve. It just comes out of my body naturally.
Exactly. Well, I think I have covered all my questions. Even though I lost my questions, I think I got them all done. Before we go on to giving people readings, which Donna said yes, is there something that you would like to do, that your bucket list of the next step in Scott Medical Medium Naturopath?
I've done a lot of really great things. I've lived in 4 different countries, skydived, I've whitewater rafted, I've bungee jumped, done crazy stuff. What I really want to do is actually spend more time with Indigenous tribes. I have a fascination for North America. Particularly, wanted to spend some time with the original Indians.
Mm-hmm.
That was really, and you put on your on the photograph of me on the marketing, the Hayorka Empire. I came across the word Hayorka only recently, and it fit aptly with me that I just tend to push boundaries, tend to push people, which is it comes from the Lakota Indians, and I was really fascinated with the whole Hayorka medicine. And the Hayorka medicine is the person who you may find says, I can't believe they said that. Like, wow, that's a bit rude. And not that I'm rude, I just innocently say things that I tap into and don't realise that I've tapped someone's hot button, or I hit a sensitive spot. And that's part of the Hayorka, the medicine, and understanding that as a highly sensitive empath, I just naturally do it. I remember working with a client. I was doing muscle testing with her, and I said, "Is your name Jan?" And she goes, "Yes." I said, "Is your name Terry?" And she just broke into tears, crying. I said, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "My ex-husband was Terry." And I just picked the name out of the hat. So we ended up clearing the name, clearing his name. But what I'm getting at is that I'm fascinated by even though we live in Australia and we have amazing Aboriginal dreamtime and the medicine here, but I'm really drawn to the North American culture, and I want to spend some time with the shaman medicine men. That would be one of my greatest gifts to experience.
Well, you never know who might be listening here, and I have to give you an invite.
I'd love to be invited onto the land. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I think that the natives are Native American, Native wherever the natives are. I think it's such a connection to have that connection to the earth as that's passed down to the from parent to child and so on and so on and so forth. That some of us forget that there's that connection. So yeah, you never know. What do you have coming up in the future? Do you have any? I know sometimes people do spirit fairs. There's different names for them. Do you go and work? Because the medium part of you needs to share. Do you work? I'm going to call it spirit fair because that's the only name that's coming to my brain right now.
I haven't. I've been travelling for over 12 months. I haven't lived anywhere longer than five weeks in the last year. So I've been literally a gypsy. And recently I was in another part of Australia, travelling through this small town, and I met this lady who had a shop where they sell fair trade products from all over the world. And we got chatting, and I did a reading with her. And she goes, "Wow, I've got to have you in my store." So the nearest thing I've done to a psychic fair is working at her store recently. And she put 20 people in front of me in a period of 3 days. So it was quite incredible.
Holy cow.
So my next picture is I'm talking to an Australian event promoter about doing a live stage show. Now I've never been one to be on stage, be seen, but I'm stepping into this is my truth. This is what I talk about, being in my truth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have my own nervousness, my own fears of being live on stage, but it feels like that's the next progression. I've also started to put the bones together of a couple of books that are important to me. One of them is about the relationship with the ego, and it's a very specific method that I've been working with about how the ego gets involved in our life and how to actually use it and work with it. So that's book number one, and book number two is a bit of a more sciencey medical book, but it's something that keeps coming up for me is how to detox heavy metals from your life and your body. I have a particular focus in my medical practice that I do a lot of heavy metal testing and detoxification on environmental medicine, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will definitely have you back when you have your books out, because then we can talk about the books. But Eric Glynn in the chat room says stage shows are great fun. They let you get out of your box.
You actually come to the UK, Eric, and we can do a dual show.
Ooh, Teddy would like that. Well, because Eric is in the UK, and it's just hop, skip, and a jump down there.
It's 24 hours from Australia on a plane.
There you go.
Yeah, and that's if we somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're just so far away from the rest of the world, it takes us forever to get anywhere.
Yeah, but it's so pretty down there. Plus, if I flew down there on my birthday, I'd get to celebrate it twice.
You would?
That's what I keep saying. I'll go fly to Australia just so I can celebrate my birthday twice. This doesn't mean I'm going to age twice, just means I'm going to party twice as hard.
Well,
2 sips of wine and I'm asleep in the corner.
Technically, you're actually interviewing me in the future.
Sorry?
Technically, you're interviewing me in the future.
That's true. You are my future. Scary. I'm your past. That's even scarier. Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, would you like to do a reading?
Sure.
Okay.
Happy to play.
Oh, hold on a second. Eric just says, hint, just remember on stage, be your stage, your persona. Just remember. Hmm.
Yeah, I have a very dry, quirky sense of humor, Eric. It will be a show of my own making.
I think your sense of humor is quite good. I like it. Right.
I'm the king of the dad joke.
The king of the bad jokes. I think we'll have to talk to your partner about that one. She'll have to probably confirm that one or deny. But I know quite a few people who have that jokes, Eric.
We can get a letter from her therapist and stuff. Yeah.
There you go.
She doesn't have a therapist. I'm just kidding.
And no, Eric, he does not know Teddy, thankfully. Teddy is Eric's guide that he works very closely with. And Teddy is, if they do a show together, it's got to be the Teddy and Eric show, not the Eric and Teddy show. That's Teddy for you. He is one of a kind, thankfully. And he's all Eric's. No, he's not an idiot. He picked you, didn't he? Alrighty. Okay, so we're going to go to Donna. Donna Ravenrooks. Donna, you still there? Couple of seconds.
I'm just singing that old Richie Valens song. Oh, Donna.
There you go. That's a lovely song.
That's as much as I'm going to put you through.
And Donna's there, so she said yes. Go ahead. You're all it.
Donna, fantastic. So Donna, I'm really feeling your neck and spine area. It's very tight through the base of your neck, top of your shoulders, middle of your back. It's really tight. Your head is feels very inflamed. So it's an indicator that you're way too much in your headspace right now, thinking, worrying. So that there's a massive party, which is a disconnect from your head and heart space, which I often talk about. You're actually storing a lot of your emotional, I'm going to say, it's actually an emptiness that I feel in your lungs, but it's where you actually aren't expressing yourself verbally. So even though you're doing it through art, but it's learned something about you today, it's almost like another party which isn't being expressed. You haven't really had the conversations or had the boundaries to really nail what you need to nail and discuss the conversations that you need to have that really going to support you in taking your career to the next level. Just moving through your body. So when I'm feeling you, I'm just moving through your body. I really feel your neck and spine. It's almost like it's tight. It's really, really tight through some of the muscles, ligaments. Donna, I really feel like you're super dehydrated. You're really, part of your spinal and muscular support needs that minerals, needs of water. I feel like your body is completely lacking enough minerals. I'm not sure what part of the world you're in, Donna, but I would definitely look at supporting more minerals and liquid water in your life. Just moving through your body. So the next thing I feel is your liver. So the liver is probably the part that's, again, it's another expression part for you. It's where you store anger. It's a well-known Chinese medicine, TCM, they call it traditional Chinese medicine, the emotion of anger stored in the liver. I feel like it's not too angry. I just feel like there could be some clearing to do, or maybe a bit of detoxing in a very gentle way. The water's going to help with that. And if you're not eating organic food or the best quality produce at the moment, I really suggest that would be great. Even reducing the amount of carbohydrates of processed wheat, grains, and having a higher produce, vegetables, fruit diet for a while would be really great. It would take the pressure off. Even if you've got a sweet tooth at the moment, to try and give that a big avoidance right now. So just moving through your body again. Feeling healing. You guys can't see me doing this. It's kind of like feeling through her body. So I feel like you've had some knee injuries too, Donna, or some knee stress, and it's coming through my right knee, which may be reflecting in your left knee. Kind of like if you did some forgiveness around it, like held it, said, I love you, I'm sorry, I forgive you, did the old Hopono on your knee. I might feel like it's, you have to be careful of your knees. Yeah. The other thing, Donna, is that stress is a big thing for you too. Like I said, your head's where you keep your stress, but I'm also feeling your adrenal glands. So you can burn out pretty quickly if you're not putting enough petrol back in the tank, like good self-care, enough sleep, enough rest, not taking other people's shit on, getting into your own space, having some, not being a martyr for anybody else, really saying no, having strong boundaries in place is really an important part for you. I just want to keep feeling your back. Your back may be representative of supporting everybody else too, Donna, so that's probably where I'm getting this from. Your back just keeps coming up for me. Yeah. Look, I think the next level of where you want to take yourself is where I feel like you really wanted to go to the next level in your career too. There are some belief systems in behind this. They're coming from your family. It's a relationship with your parents, self-doubt, self-belief, their sense of security. You get a job, you go to school, you do the right things, you raise 2.5 children, you pay for mortgage. That's not your game. Your game is full expression of your creative self. Actually believing and trusting and backing yourself with it. That is really the next step, is that where the head's going to say no, Donna, the heart's going to say yes. So really starting to practice trust. What most people do is they do this thing through this, I don't love, like, accept, or trust myself. So when you take any problem, any situation, your entire experience, and actually break it down to I don't love, like, accept, or trust myself, you can actually come back and you do the heart space exercise I mentioned before, start connecting into that love essence that you have for another person or a dog or a cat. If you can't bring self-love in your own life, this is why I do this, because the irony is you created the love for whoever you're giving it to. You're just reflecting it back on yourself so that you can actually start to create what you really want. So Donna, I would almost start doing videos for your artwork if you aren't doing how you make it, the storytelling behind it. This is the thing, the word is storytelling. Go for the storytelling, Donna. You are a storyteller through your art. Tell the story behind it. So, if you got any questions, let me know. I hope that helps, Donna.
I like that, storytelling through her art. She does. She did that when she created my butterflies. She showed me step by step. So yes, that's Donna. That's a good one.
Yeah. So you're so very welcome.
Again, if anybody else wants a connection with Scott, say me please, so that I know.
It's always interesting when I feel the body. It's like, is it physical, is it emotional, what's happening? There's a whole, it's a whole raft of things that I'm exploring when I'm actually feeling because my body mirrors what's happening in other people's bodies. So I started to feel her back. I started to feel different parts of her. So then I'm interpreting what's actually going on. So it's interesting how it So the more I connect with someone, the more that actually the information comes out about it actually is relevant to self.
And Donna says, yes, and stained glass was for those who could not read the glass pictures. The pictures told the story. So, yeah.
So, Donna, what I'd like to say is that not only let the glass tell the story, but actually record yourself explaining the story. You know, like verbalize the story too.
Mm-hmm.
And that connects people to your craftsmanship. Craftswomanship, if we're being politically correct.
I think she gets it.
Cool. So
Would
who
you
was
like?
next?
Next would be Larry.
Larry is a thinker. Larry, you're an intellect, mate. Honestly, you're really in your head. That's a good place to be. It means that you're using up a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of glucose to fuel your mind. So part of the reason that you may not be as healthy or your weight not be as well as you like is because your body's just consuming glucose to fuel your intellect. So again, it's stepping back into self-care. This is one of the most amazing things, and I was taught this by my partner Julia. She's an amazing woman at self-care and boundaries. And before she met little old me, I was a bit of a train wreck, but she helped bring me back into seeing the world differently, which is fantastic. So Larry, the big thing for you is your body's not flexible, it's not mobile, and I would look at, I'm going to say the old yoga, Pilates kind of thing, or some sort of movement. It's really important that you become more flexible because your thoughts are reflecting in your body. The inflexible mind, inflexible body, and this is part of your next part of your story of the journey is letting go and becoming more flexible in the beliefs and how things are meant to play out. What is it that you can let go of or be more flexible around? What is it that would be something that's going to be nurturing for you? Again, hydration. This comes up all the time with people. Hydration. I really feel that you need to put minerals and water together. Buy some minerals, get some really good water, and focus on having it at 1.5 liters per day. Again, most people I know don't have enough water and are really, really dehydrated. And the most interesting thing about minerals make water work. Minerals make water absorb. That's it. Thanks, Eric. Have a good night, mate. We'll see you next time.
Good night, Eric. Sleep well.
Larry, the other thing too is that what you really want to do is you're not living in your complete truth of your passion and purpose right now. There's a part of you which is really desiring to do other things. Start to figure out how to do it by coming into your heart space, meditating on it, getting some visions and ideas. The money will turn up. I'm not saying make irresponsible financial decisions. I'm saying create the opportunity coming to you. The big part of your being, Larry, is connecting back into really what sets your heart on fire, not just doing the numbers, going to work, paying the mortgage. Time to step into something that's really going to fulfill you, Larry. Just feeling more of Larry. Yeah, again, Larry, it's just like kind of your voice has been stifled. I want to say that the expression within self could be a lot more. How would you want to express yourself? Your creative being is looking for more expression. Do you want to work with metal, or do you want to draw what's coming from you? So that would be really important. The other thing, Larry, is start thinking about your gut health, more probiotics. There's a bit of inflammation inside your gut as well. Really look at good dietary fiber, good probiotics, really taking care of your gut health. That would be something that I'm feeling for you. It feels a little bit uncomfortable for me when I feel your tummy. Yeah, and this is a really important part too, is that you probably might, I'm not sure if you like turmeric, but turmeric could really help too from old sporting injuries, the inflammation out of the joints and the knees. All right, cool. Is that How's that, Larry? Just let us know, otherwise I'll jump onto someone else quickly. Next.
Okay, next is Miss Christy Who.
Question, Christy Who?
And Larry says, thank you, spot on.
Okay, Christy Who? It's like playing that song. Who are you? Christy. Okay, Christy feels pretty calm and cool. So, Christy, you're really sitting on who you are, okay? You're doing all the right things, doing all the things, but again, this is a really important expression for you. You are not expressing the truth of who you are. There's a more powerful part of you waiting to be explosively open. If you want to sing, sing. If you want to write music, write music. The other part of you is that your body's looking for more like body care, like a massage or some sort of stretching again. Feeling. This comes up all the time too, darlings, people's heads, is that when people are overstressed and overthinking, they really have busy heads, and it turns up as inflammation to me. It feels like my head just starts to pound like a migraine headache when I start to tune into Christy's head. And part of that is that we're just constantly processing through our thoughts. It's kind of like if I can think my way out of it, I can solve the problem. I can try and go through all the possible scenarios, go through all the possible solutions, and really what I need is a miracle. This is where the heart space comes into it, that connecting back into trusting and really feeling, like my head's pounding, Christy. And really coming back into this key question. It is possible. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know how it's going to manifest, but it's possible. You keep coming back into that heart space, love, to create what you need. So, Christy, I'm just telling us where else it's coming from. You'd probably find a great deal of relief in actually setting boundaries with your immediate family and stop playing into the family games. There is probably a lot of expectations from family, which causes stress, which causes, I can't talk to her because she's going to react this way. I can't do this because she's never going to hear me. And the reason I'm saying she is probably a mum connection there, mum relationship. The more you step into your truth and actually start to ask for what's right for you and say no, what's not right for you, the more you're going to have more energy and fuel in the tank for your body and for your life. Self-care is number one for you, Christy. You could probably benefit from more magnesium as well. You can probably see your local pharmacist or physician in your country, wherever you live, to get the best advice on that. But I really feel like you could possibly really use more magnesium and zinc. Now, if you ever do take zinc can cause stomach upset, so it's really important to have zinc after food. Again, see your local practitioner for the best product for you there. Magnesium is amazing. Most of us are magnesium deficient. So, Chris, that's the big thing for me with your head is, and I almost want you to do this. Actually, I want you to do this. I want you to put your hand near the side of your head and just imagine your hands are like two sticky Velcro gloves. I want you to pull out all like literally feel like taffy and sticky shit removing, and you're dragging it away like you're pulling your hand away from your head with these sticky Velcro gloves. You're just sending love into your body while breathing slowly. I already feel it releasing, so I can feel it sort of settling down from my hands already. So just keep imagining this releasing all the head stuff, letting it go, and you don't have to play the game with anyone else anymore. Just be you. Just really be the magnificent, amazing being that you are. You show the world your creative gorgeousness. Really step onto that stage and be you. Be your voice, shine. If you've got any questions, let me know, Christy. Is anyone else, Darlene, that we saw on the list?
Yeah, we had Carrie as well.
Super Carrie.
She has, I won't say, something with her back.
I can see the question. So it possibly feels like there's a bone fragment or something in there still, Carrie. I feel like through a lot of inflammation. Energetically, Carrie, this is where you support the world. That you're back having surgery, having trauma upon it doesn't mean you cannot do what you used to do and how you used to do it. It means there's a whole rethink energetically, vibrationally. It's time to change how you do life, who you support, how you support everybody, how much you give up to everybody. It's really important that you focus on your diet right now. You really focus on your self-care. You really get some like minerals and hydration. I think you have a lot of old family stuff stored in your body, Carrie. You have a lot of emotional stuff that's years old. I think it comes from childhood, comes from your mother, then it's playing out within your body. It's almost like you're inflexible to where it's showing up in your body. That you kind of like things how you don't want to rock the boat. You know? That's kind of how I'm going to shoot it for you. Is that the reason that you're being inflexible and your back can't do what it's meant to be because you're not prepared to rock the boat to get what you need, because no one's going to understand in your world. They're just not going to get it if you turn around and go, no, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm done. I've had enough. What happens, Carrie, is when you actually start to grow, people freak out around you and they don't know how to deal with you because they had you in so the boat is going to cause you life troubles. What happens is that people like to have us in what I call limited identity, an identity of self. That if they know how you are and who you are in relation to themselves, they're comfortable. The moment you start to change, grow, challenge, they have to look at their shit and they don't want to do it. They get scared, they get confronted. And that's the big thing, is that most of us are carrying energetics in our body from family, from generations, from genetics, from thousands of lifetimes ago. This is just common stuff that I see all the time. Yeah. So Gary, it just means the more that you create the relationship with the stuff, the boundaries, like the nutrition you're doing, just keep finding more ways to build a relationship with yourself. I have friends of ours who moved states just so they couldn't be near family. It's just that they would not have their whole family game playing out. They moved 1,000, I'm not sure it is in miles, but 1,000 kilometres from their original home to us where we are now in Australia. Yeah, I hope that helps, Carrie. Remember, water. If you've got back issues, water. Your spinal fluid loves water and minerals. So it's really important that you really have your water on track with. Cool. Yeah. All right. I hope that helps, Carrie. Any more questions? Just pop it in the chat. Is there anyone else, Darlene, that you saw?
Yes, we have a couple. We have Supernatural Radio, otherwise known as Corinne De Winter.
What was her name? Sorry, I missed that.
Her name is Corinne. Corinne, sorry. Corrine.
There you go.
Supernatural
Radio.
Yeah.
You're a funky individual, Corinne. I can feel you. You're a very intuitive, very connected being.
Corinne. Thank you, Daddy.
Corinne is in the house.
She is.
So your conscious connection, Corinne, just keep doing it. Keep working on yourself. Keep believing in who you are. The naysayers, the people who don't know what you do, don't know how you do it, as they say, F them. Don't let them get into your psyche. You're really on track with where you want to be and what you want to do, and you know how to do it. The only thing with you is probably do a bit more focus on your nutrition, get some more exercise. Your body feels stagnant, right? You're not doing the conscious journey. You're doing the astral traveling. You're doing all the really cool stuff, but it's time to balance it with the physical. Your body's stagnant. I feel like you've got lymph nodes and lymph glands that are just sluggish. My arms just went like a lymph feeling you, sorry to say. It's kind of like, what can you do to put a bit of vibe back in your body? Like I really feel like something like shaking, vibrating your body would be great. You know those old 1950s machines where you hop in it and you put a belt around your waist and it shakes the shit out of yourself? I feel like something that's just going to completely vibrate your body, or even riding a bike or jumping on a trampoline. Something that's fun for you would be really cool. I say a lot, that's because I'm thinking. Let's keep feeling. Keep feeling, Corrine. I feel like you need more rest as well. You must be burning the night. You know, they say burning candles at both ends. I feel like you're not getting enough rest in your mental body. Yeah. I really feel like it would be fantastic to just simply check out, tune out to stillness. No traveling, no off on a journey. The complete state of rest, relaxation, and stillness would be amazing for you. And setting yourself a regular bedtime is going to be really important for your journey. And again, hydration's coming up. My goodness, this is a dehydrated crowd today. You've all got your bottle of water there, or you're running to the kitchen right now as we speak and bolting down some water. Remember, you've got to put water and minerals together. You just can't just have that at the tap. You've got to put minerals in, otherwise water does not absorb. Minerals help water absorb. Oh wow, you just feel really light and happy, Karine, so that's fantastic. Love it, love it. Again, I'm going to say this too, I really feel like you need to be on stage, like I said for the previous reading. You need to be on stage, keeping your show alive, keeping it going, a presence and being. Yeah, it would be really, really great for you. That's really the main thing, Karine. I think if you just the rest, water, hydration, movement would be the real key things for you right now. Again, it's needless to say, really focus on your nutrition. You're eating too many hot chips, so this all of a sudden had a craving for hot chips. So, do you like your hot chips and tomato sauce? There you go. I'm going to write something into the chat for you, Karine. There's a plant called blue velvet bean is a natural source of dopamine, and you can also need zinc as well for the MS. Blue velvet bean helps the body produce dopamine, but you need some zinc and some turmeric for the MS. You must be really at peace with your condition. That's why I didn't pick up on the MS straight away, because I'm not feeling inflammation in your head like I do other people. You must be really one with your journey. So if you start to zinc alongside of silica, that's what I'm feeling. So what I'm getting at, Karine, is that if you start to actually look at some detoxification, a lot of what we find with people who have autoimmune diseases, this is what I call the body's greatest sense of self-attack. That when the body's attacking itself, it's the consciousness is also implied, it's not just the immune system. Silica helps to remove aluminium, however you want to say it, from the body. We use a product called activated silica. But in the States, you can get a product called BioShield, which is pretty good too. So the whole idea is that there's a lot of connection between aluminum toxicity and multiple sclerosis as well. I'm actually treating a patient at the moment, and we've got her on turmeric, zinc, and silica. Yeah, cool. I hope that helps.
Okay. You mentioned something, you've mentioned it a couple of times, so I'm going to ask you about it. You said put minerals with the water. What minerals do you suggest?
Look, I'm not sure if it's available in the States or Canada. We have our own product. We have our own manufacturing business. We make our own products, and we actually don't ship externally to any other parts of the world because our postal system here charges
Obscene amounts?
insane amounts. But we use a product called black minerals, which is a decayed rainforest from Austria. And it was crushed in the last ice age to make up 1,000 plant species in a decomposted form. So, which is really a whole bunch of plant matter that's actually naturally mineralized. And we actually put that into our water. But in the States, you can buy a product called TJ Clark's. You can also get Life Spring Minerals as well. There's a few different places you can get different products. And then for Lyme's disease, Carrie's asked a question there, some advice for Lyme's disease. What I do is I do a DNA viral therapy and also do detoxification as well. We start to use silica, we use modified citrus pectin. I'll write that in the chat. Again, obviously because of the way people are litigious around the world, always check with your health professional before doing anything. So basically, we would make a DNA-based medicine from your own cells and turn it into a homeopathic to actually teach the body where to target the Lyme's disease. Yeah, so basically, Carrie, they can take a scraping of your cheek wall, get some cells or some saliva, and they combine it with some of what we use a company in Germany, which is worldwide, called Heal, and we use some of their immune products in our treatment with the saliva or the skin cells, and basically create a antiviral, antiparasitic, custom DNA-based medicine for your body.
Cool. Hope that answers a few other questions. We have one last person, is Jackie, who's been sitting quietly by. Jackie.
Just feeling, Jackie.
Okay. And you have a lot of people writing at this moment in time.
Yeah. Cool. But Jackie, you have a bit of headache from my point of view too going on. It's really interesting. The head stuff just constant. Am I echoing now for you guys?
No, we're still good.
Great. I had an echo on my end. Sorry, Jackie. I'm feeling. So Jackie, it's more about heart space stuff going on. So really, I feel like you've got a broken heart at the moment, or there's something that's really stressing your heart right now. And the sadness that comes with that. Just know this is just transformation, transition. The more you breathe too Jackie, you're very shallow breathing. You're not really breathing in to the full extent of your body, the full extent of your body. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. She is with you, and it's needless to say that she's with you, but she's definitely working with you. So I would just remind yourself of the purpose that you've chosen to be here, and the creative journey that you're on. Remember, this is about expressing who you are. This is the time to really start to express what's in there. If you need to cry to cathartically remove it, let yourself cry, journal about it, write about it. Burn the journal afterwards, of course, safely. Express it completely and come back into the infinite love which is your daughter, which is you. The infinite journey that she's with you, the infinite that's within you and her to always be together.
She was 18, went for surgery, came home, and passed a few hours later.
I am so sorry to hear that. Jackie, what's important is that we all have a choice on our journey. Each journey has a length of time which is only known to the highest parts of our consciousness. Your journey is still present, and there's much that you can do to honour that young lady, much you can do to honour with your journey and the work that you want to do and the message that you want to bring to the world. I'm just really feeling into this one. It's super sensitive, guys. I feel like crying. I'm not going to, but I feel like it.
Mm-hmm. She said her daughter said she always knew she was never going to grow up.
Yeah.
Her daughter was a very special young lady.
One of the things that I want to share, Jackie, is that every relationship is like a lock and key. Every single interaction, every single person, everything you experience is a lock and key. You guys are sharing keys with me and unlocking parts of myself. And I'm giving you keys to unlock parts of yourself. When you connect to the keys that she has given you, unlock your heart to forgive, to love, to grow beyond what is where you are. The important part of this is that grow into that love, grow into that magnificent heart of yours. Remember the keys that she gave you. She's unlocked parts of you, given you ideas of how to honour her, how to actually use that memory to contribute in many, many ways. Many people. And really start to honour yourself, taking care of yourself, starting to focus on your journey, starting to really, how can I really move into my purpose? I'm not saying discard or move away from her memory, I'm saying use it as a tool. I really think it's important that you really focus on your body, health, nutrition, water, relationships, friendships, community. Put the pieces back into the puzzle that she used to fill. Bring her with you on the new journey. I hope that helps.
She's trying to take care of herself now and getting healthier.
Cool. Woo. It was big.
Yeah, it was. But it was the perfect ending to this. We still have time left, so we'll still continue to talk. But I think my guests in the chat room, I think, as you've blown them all away. which I knew you would. Except for there's one quiet guest in the chat room who will, unfortunately, one of the things I've noticed is that when you sign into the show, if you sign in with your Facebook account, you will get to come in and chat in the chat room. So, guess I'm really sorry that you didn't get a chance to get a reading in this, but next time, sign in with your Facebook account or sign into IntuiTalks.com and get it out. You don't have to use your real name. That's one of the things that you can use another name. You know, Mama D is not my real name. No kidding. But yeah, I just found something. I'm a little slow with things sometimes, but here is the link to the Heal company.
Just so you know, in some parts of the world, it's a prescription medicine, so you probably need to consult your practitioner to get access to it.
Corinne wants to know, did you hear Angry Anderson's son was murdered?
No, I didn't.
You're welcome, Carrie. Who is Angry Anderson?
He's a famous Australian rock star.
Ah, okay.
He sang one of the most beautiful love songs. That was a massive hit here. Yeah.
Supernatural Raider, aka Corinne De Winter, is very musically inclined, shall we say. Her dad was, I believe, a record producer. We connected. Our fathers had similar issues, similar dads. So that's how we connected. So her dad had a lot to do with in the music industry. So anything music, Supernatural Radio knows about it. She said yesterday this happened.
Wow. I unfortunately don't watch a lot of media, so I'm a bit oblivious to what's happening in the world.
Yeah, I don't watch it either.
Facebook tells me or someone tells me, I don't really know, but my condolences, Angry. Yeah. Horrible.
Yeah, the world is going on a weird trip at this moment in time, as far as I see. A roller coaster doesn't even explain, doesn't even cover this stuff from all over the world, not just in Canada or in the States. I mean, everything just sort of seems to be hitting the fan at this moment in time. And it's not my fault. I didn't do it, I swear. But,
Are you sure?
I think so. I was here all day long. I didn't cause any trouble.
You have an alibi.
I have an alibi. My dog's been sitting in my room the whole time. Onyx has been sitting here watching me the whole time. He's looking at me like, what the heck are you talking that for? Geostorms, big time. Yes, exactly. Okay. You did mine a while back, my reading a while back. Are there any changes in mine? Aside from more water. But I need to look at these. And the thing was, before we started this show, here's the get this people. Before we started the show, Scott was like, okay, I'm ready. I said, hang on, I gotta get something to drink. I got this giant bottle of water, and it was, and I fill it up as often as I can. And I was like, he's gonna be happy. So I'm drinking my water.
Look, I do think you made changes to your water. I also feel like you're still not stepping into really owning who you are as a presenter, show host, media personality, whatever it is you want to be with this. I think there's still a part of you which is a belief system of, I'm caught between the two worlds of having to go to the job and do this. And I'm going to say this, how do I make this pay? You don't know how to make this financial yet. So how to actually make a living or get contributions to support that. That's a big part of you that's still you're really in the two worlds of the job world and this world. And that's what's causing your inner conflict, which is part of you which hasn't changed since we last spoke, is that inner conflict which is you've got to make money, but you love doing this. So,
well, I have kind of sort of helped that along the way. If nobody has noticed, on the side of the thing, there is now a donate button. So if you like the show, please donate so that I can continue doing this and enjoy. Because I enjoy this so much, I can't see how getting paid can. I mean, I know getting paid, I would have more free time to do it, but yeah, I'll figure it out.
That's the thing, is that it's okay to get paid as a spiritual, conscious community. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just being honoured for the relationship that and the environment which you're creating.
Mm-hmm. No, I enjoy doing this because I think that this is part of. I call myself, I'm a shareaholic, and I like people. I think that everybody has something to share, and this is my platform to be able to help people do that.
Let's call you spiritual Oprah.
Oh my goodness, I'm spiritual Oprah. That's cute.
That's what she does. She essentially, brings people to the attention of others.
Mm-hmm.
She highlights people doing great things or has a story to share. That's what you're doing, and that's part of your your mission is that bringing more people together via this community. It's really cool, and I really believe that you're onto something here, and there's some belief systems still behind it that we can talk about outside of the show, which is just coming from, your old filters, your old family stuff, say, really, I was going to say mum or dad, but I'm getting both of them. It's really, they're in your head going, go and get a job, go and do this, be good at school, and you're not that kind of, you're more of a creative free spirit. So that's what I'm getting at. You don't fit the paradigm box. So it means that there's some belief systems of letting go of mum and dad's contracts, and letting go of the agreements put in place by mum and dad that no longer serve you, letting go of the agreements which actually go back, predate your existence this lifetime, that essentially, like a lot of us who do this kind of work, burned at the stakes, persecuted, that if you be seen, you will be hammered. If you step out and speak, you'll get persecuted, you'll be punished. There's a part of that fear still in below the surface level for you at a deep old level. You're talking hundreds of lifetimes ago, thousands of lifetimes ago, where you put an agreement in place with self to protect you. You can release that and get to be the full expression of your truth and make a living doing this.
That would be a blast. If I could do this full time, good Lord, I'd be in everybody's ears all the time.
Loving it.
Mm-hmm. Because you were saying that one of the books you want to write works on the ego and how to work with it. I think I'm sort of paraphrasing it. I think I never used to. We were taught that ego is not a good thing. Growing up, you can't have a big ego. Don't. I mean, people see me. I got this bright red hair. I stand out enough. So I was told to hush and be a good little girl and keep quiet. But I just, I stood out as it was with this gorgeous red hair of mine. But I know I work with my ego. I don't live with my ego. I work with it. I'm good at the talking. I'm good at listening, and I'm good at the sharing. So this is what I like to be able to. This is what I use to help others.
Yeah, and it's all aspects of the self. It's like having a conversation with your ego, and this is part of the therapy that I use. I go, "Hello, ego. Hey, Scott, how's it going?" I said, "What's your purpose today?" My purpose is to completely fulfill all of your instructions as per our agreement. Fantastic. So when you actually understand the ego's relationship to self, you can actually start to manage through it and actually understand what it's purposely tasked to do, either work with you or work against you.
Okay. Yeah. Ego and I have conversations coming. But like I said, thank you. You, as usual. At least this time you didn't make me cry.
I need to do that today. That was personal between you and I. We don't need to share that today.
He had me bawling and making mascara. No, it's okay, I'm kidding. I have waterproof mascara when it comes to Scott.
I look forward to spiritual Oprah becoming more
Spiritual Oprah. All right, everybody's going to hold me that one. You know that, really.
Once that's the whole idea of planting the seed.
Sorry?
The idea of planting the seed for you.
There you go. There's going to be a lot of manure on top of that one. It's going to be. Oh, gosh. Now, sort of to get away from me, you have something that you work with your partner. I will eventually like to have her on speaking about this as well. You have a company of that you work with, that you create I believe it's your own herbs and supplements.
Yeah, it's called Grasses of Life. And I created it when I was struggling as a practitioner. This was about 5 years ago. I was finding it hard to retain clients, finding it hard to make their money being a naturopath. And what happened, because our insurance companies don't pay a lot for seeing people like me, they might give you, $17 back on your claim. It makes it hard to make a living when people don't really afford it. Anyway, that's not the point. The point was I decided to become more empowered and create another source of income, and I created my own brand of products, which essentially focuses on the gut and detoxification and restoring minerals to the body. And that has grown from a small little thing out of, like, 5 years ago, I was living in my brother's spare bedroom paying $100 a week rent. Could barely afford that, working 3 or 4 hours in a health food shop, and creating a business which now has a 6-figure turnover in 5 years, from flat broke to struggling. Yeah.
Just a little comment. Everybody in the chat room, y'all rock. Carrie, Jackie, Carrie put a link to the Google, I believe I didn't follow it, Grasses of Life, and Jackie and I put the link into your website. So www.grassesoflife.com.au.
And we call it Grasses of Life because a lot of our products are developed around organic grasses like wheatgrass, barley grass, alfalfa grass, aloe vera, which is a grass. We have a lot of grasses which form the basis for our product range.
Mm-hmm.
And since then it's changed into a few other things. We have fermented turmeric, we have papaya. It's really just a range of foods which help support the body working well. Very specific. And they all do really great things. And the only reason they're in this is because I love each and every one of them. If I didn't love them, I wouldn't put them in our range.
Yeah. Now, do you ship worldwide or not? I think you believe.
We're working on with a career, working with our shipping agent, but it's still not sorted.
Okay.
A lot of our products are liquids, and as soon as you put something in a liquid, the weight goes up, and freight companies love to charge you a fortune for things that weigh a lot.
Okay. Yeah, and unfortunately with that's sometimes the shipping costs more than product. So yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. So we are doing our best, yes, to look at that. We're still negotiating with terms and things. So it's a watch this space.
Well, that just means you have to move to like the U.S. or to Canada or.
That.
There you go. Yeah, manufactured up here in Canada. They don't want to have to pay duty on the border. But yeah, so when everything gets, I'll do I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Just make sure that you let me know. And Aramex is all over. Carrie says Aramex is all over. Not sure what
Oh,
that is.
shit, that's a
That's a
shipping
shipping
company.
company. Yeah. You'll let me know because, as I said, Spiritual Oprah is Shareaholic, and she will share the hoo-hoo out of this one. And just a little moment. One of the things that Supernatural Radio does is she helps families that cannot afford a Christmas. So if anyone knows someone who is struggling to get gifts for their family on this holiday season, please go to www.smallworldfund.org, and that is Supernatural Radio, purpleplates.com. This is an amazing lady who does her very best to help as many people as she can. She's not going to help everybody, but it's not, she's going to do the best that she can. So yeah, and yeah, I'm shareaholic. And she's not in the chat room anymore, so she can't say anything. Ha ha ha. But, and Carrie says Aramex is a courier. So yeah, shipper. So there's that thing. There is, and if anybody else has anything else they want to share, you know where to share it. My page, Facebook, here, it's good. So of all the Grasses of Life products, which is the first thing that people should look at? Because I'm on the site and it says, take the 30-day coffee-free challenge.
That was just something that I did for Julia because she was trying to quit coffee. So we did a challenge to basically get people off coffee. We just found that a lot of people had pain in their body, inflammation, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. We just found that when we got them off coffee, they started to get better results.
So cutting that out while working with everything else is one of the things. Have you ever heard of chaga mushroom?
Yeah, we love mushrooms. We use reishi, chaga, a whole bunch of different lion's mane we consume.
Yeah, those are the other two that I would like to get my hands on. I have, where I live, I have a lot of, they're doing a lot of construction or deconstruction in my case, and chaga grows up here in Quebec because it's got the cold enough for it. And I drink chaga tea at least once a day, if not more. First started with a teaspoon in my coffee, and I was like, there's no taste to it. So I just made a cup of chaga tea, and it works, especially for me who has a very sensitive stomach. Chaga tea is amazing. But the other two I would like to get my hands on and work with that.
Cool. Yeah, I love the medicinal mushrooms. They're fantastic.
Yeah. So the first time you say to somebody, I'm having a mushroom tea, it's like they think the magic mushrooms, the one that sends you on another voyage to another land, another universe. No, this doesn't. This is.
Yeah, mushrooms have a lot of amazing properties for immunity, life expansion, all sorts of different benefits.
Sorry, I'm perusing your website at the same time. Great host. I'm not paying attention to my chat room.
You multitasking?
Yes, I do. I don't do it very well often because I've been known to type things in the wrong chat box and go, oops, wrong chat box. Did it earlier in the chat room. So
I did that dating when I was in my 20s. It doesn't work, on the chat box.
Yeah. Thanks, Christy. Have a good day, sweetheart, or evening. I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, I think what we'll do is we'll bring this to a close. Got about 10 minutes left, but we did an awesome show. I thank you for connecting with everybody in the chat room. Anybody has any questions, Scott, see, I'm not a totally good girl because I don't have your Facebook link. Scott Collins, Medical Medium Naturopath. type it in really quickly and see if I can get it. There you go. Scott caught it. Oops, Scotty wants it there done. Okay, guys, I am trying to do this quickly.
I've just done it for you.
Oh, you're a doll. Hey, there he is. Same I got? Nope,
It was an
I got this.
absolute pleasure helping everybody. Thank you for participating. It was really cool.
It was fun. It was informative, and not only just for my own reading, but listening to others, I got information that is helpful as well. So when those books have been written, I do expect to have you back again.
Cool. I'd love to do it with the chef. Yeah. It'd be awesome.
Cool. All right, everybody, have a good night. I will see you next week. My guest next week is Rich Valdez. He is a demonologist and another man with a sexy voice. So y'all behave, y'all be good, and I'll talk to y'all next week. Night, everybody.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.